This is again from PFF. Strongest and weakest position groups after free agency in the NFL draft. Wide receiver, strongest Tampa Bay Buccaneers, weakest Browns. Aside from Jerry Jeudy, who rode an incredible volume of targets to a 74.9 PFF receiving grade, Browns are sorely lacking in proven receiving options. Deontay Johnson could offer some hope, but posted just a 65.3 PFF receiving grade for 3 different teams last year. And again, PFF isn't the be-all, end-all, but you look at it, and Jerry Jeudy did it last year. Cedric Tillman looked like he was going to be good. Then he got hurt. Then he didn't play. And Deontay Johnson was good for a couple years. There's just a lot of question marks in that receiving room.
Yeah, the Cedric Tillman injury was gutting, really, because if he continues that for the rest of the season, we're sat here going, we feel really good at wide receiver, because if you get an 8-game sample size of what he did for sort of 2.5 weeks, you're like, we've got it. He is a X, and that box ticked for several years, hopefully. But you can't get that crazy on a small sample with the gunslinging legend Jameis Winston, because he elevates wide receivers. Wide receivers love playing with him because he puts the ball up and he gives them yards, he gives them stats. So it's one that I really want to see more. And part of me still thinks they've got to make a significant move here. Whether it's another wide receiver, whether it's a tight end and they really lean into the 2 tight end sets, I still think there's got to be something happens, because Tillman's got upside. I think Deontay Johnson's a fantastic person that if it all goes well, he's going to be a great wide receiver 3. But you can't bet on that as the outcome. And you've got to be ready. The vast majority of sets are going to have 3 wide receivers out there. So it's him or Jamari Thrash that is going to be playing a significant amount of time. I don't think either of them are up to it unless you get the best version of him. So I think you've got to be ready for something else. For me, Deontay Johnson is a fantastic 4 that could be a 3. And if Cedric Tillman gets hurt or doesn't deliver, or whoever else they bring in. But I think another move has to be coming for me to be satisfied with this room.
Yeah, and, follow the money. So let's take a look at what teams are spending on wide receivers. Top wide receivers via salary. Bengals, not a surprise. You got Higgins and Chase that they redid. $55 million. Buccaneers are second at almost 48. Titans are third, 45.5. You see the Dolphins over 43, Commanders at 42. The Browns are the second, least amount of money spent on wide receiver, just $100,000 more than the Chargers. So the Browns $17.1 million, and the Chargers $17 million. And I know they've traded for some guys. They haven't invested draft capital in it. I think Cedric Tillman and Schwartz as third rounders are the highest wide receivers that they've drafted.
Yeah, for me, it's been the biggest frustration of the whole time I've been a Browns fan, really. If you go, Corey Coleman has basically been it at wide receiver. Yes, they got Amari Cooper for a couple of years. I think Jarvis Landry was overpaid. I didn't like the OBJ trade at the time it went down. I felt they gave up too much. And it's one that you've got to invest in these players in the draft. I'd much rather take a Luther Burden or someone at 33 and really invest in a position that is known to give high value returns, and a running back and a linebacker just do not move the needle in the modern NFL. I think both will be good players, so it's relief I'm not sat there going, why did they draft that guy? It's more, why did they draft that position? So that's one to keep an eye on. But the challenge is, last year, about $45 million they spent on wide receiver talent across their 6 starters. They've got $16 million invested in Jerry Jeudy in cash. That might go up a little bit more, but I will be shocked if we go into the season and they've done nothing else at wide receiver and tight end. I think that'll be negligent in terms of building a roster and also giving your young quarterbacks the best chance to succeed. If the offensive line's back to being good, if you've got a running game, that helps. But they're going to be judged on what they do passing the ball, and you've got to give them more weapons. Njoku, Jeudy is a great start. They need 2 more in there.